Hey guys, I'm here with kind of a live look at a couple of TTMs that I got in. I have two GU TTMs, so let's take a peek. So here's the first one. I know a lot of people have been asking me, how do you go about sending a GU TTM request? I can just kind of let you know real quick here. First off, whenever I send a request, I've only sent out so far for glove requests. Based off the fact that it's kind of easier to follow through with. And yeah, so the method that I use is that I get these, I think like 9x12 envelopes that like self stick. I address one to myself, and on the return envelope, you're going to want to have about 7 stamps. It looks like here I was a little bit short, so I got the postman. But about 7 stamps on the self-addressed stamped envelope to yourself, and then when you're sending it to the player, make sure you have a nice, thoughtful letter, as well as postage on the one that you're sending to the player for about 2 stamps. I think what's really important about the letter is just the fact that you want to make sure that it's legitimate. And what I mean by that is, these guys get requests all the time. So if you were trying to acquire, some items for your collection, you need to make sure that they understand, first off, why, who you are, why you're interested in it. It needs to actually have some substance to the letter. Typically, whenever I write a letter for a game user request, it's about 3 pages, like 2.5, 3, and just kind of handwritten as well to show kind of that time commitment. Okay. So the first one that I'm getting back and opening here is from Eddie Yarborough from the Buffalo Bills. He is a defensive end. This is his first real year kind of playing. He came from Wyoming as an undrafted free agent, signed with the Broncos actually. Was lucky enough to learn under Von Miller. And he was on the practice squad, and then he joined the Bills and was a preseason stud. He really stood out. And then he had the opportunity to get some more consistent playing time, and has done really well for a guy who's just kind of coming out. A couple weeks back, he had his first sack of the season, and he had it on Cam Newton. And we know that guy is hard to bring down. All right. Very cool. Okay. So we have some Adidas gloves. Here's the first one and the second one. And I can tell you this. I remember watching videos from Card Cutter, and he would sit here and tell me about how they would really, really, really smell bad when you know that they were really used. And let it be known that these are used. It's hard to tell here just because of the kind of the material that they use. But you can see the dirt and grime there, some of the stitching coming up, some dirt and grime, also on the inside of the glove. So it looks like he signed it here as well as here, which is pretty cool. So that's awesome. So there's that one, and then here is the other glove, and it looks like has a signature in there too. So very cool, really nice success. Really pleased to get this back. It's cool starting to get some more returns in. And actually, I got that in about 8 days, I believe. And sorry, I'm kind of all over the place. I took my pre-workout, and all of a sudden, the wife comes home, and she has the mail, and I have these, so I thought, hey, I want to make this now, because I want to make sure you guys get a live look in, but at the same time, I just want to see what's in here. This next one, oddly enough, is also coming back from a Buffalo Bill, and he is actually referred to as the greatest backup center in the NFL. So hear me out. This guy, his name is Ryan Groy, and he was an undrafted free agent from Wisconsin a couple years back. and he's bounced around the league. Bears, Patriots, Bucks, and Bills. And with the Pats and the Bucks, he was on practice squads kind of here and there. I think he was with the Patriots for like 2 weeks. I read some story that he got into a fight in preseason because one of the guys wasn't following like Bill Belichick's expectations. But in trying to uphold Bill Belichick's expectations, he actually got into a fight with the guy, which also goes against Bill Belichick's expectations. What's really cool is the fact that last year, Ryan Groy ended up having to jump in as the full-time center due to injury. And the reason why he's considered the greatest backup center is because out of 291 snaps last year, he did not allow a sack, and that is just phenomenal. And I believe he signed a 2-year deal with the Bills. What I really like to do when I am sending requests out to players is I like to make sure, first off, I want a good story. If I am asking for game-used equipment or something like that, it's because I love the story of kind of the player. And these are examples of 2 players who just work their butts off. I think that's awesome. And holy smokes, are these things stinking huge. Okay, so let's check this out. We have 2 Nike gloves, okay? Extra, extra large. Like, it's my whole face. So it says, to Matt, go Bills. And as you can see, we have fingers that are taped up here, as well as significant amount of padding. That is pretty cool. So we have that one, and then we have this one. Jeez, these things are massive, extra, extra large. So, very cool. And certainly there's wear on these. Certainly not as much as the other gloves, but as you can see right here. And also, just some of the stitching and things like that. Very cool. Alright guys, well, I will continue whenever I get game use requests in. I'm going to try to do it kind of like live breaks like this. If you guys like this version of doing the live breaks like this, feel free to let me know. If not, I can always just go back to kind of bi-weekly or monthly, kind of here's what I was able to get in. But feel free to let me know. If anyone has any questions or comments, feel free to shoot them down below, and I'll try to get back to you as best I can. Thanks, guys.